Snowman here. Trustee Grum here. Trustee Rogers here. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. This time we allow any comments from the public. Any comments from the public? Okay, hearing none. Let's talk to the chiefs real quick, and then we'll talk to Steve Malota from the bank. Chiefs, what have you got for us? We got your reports. Any questions from the trustees on the monthly activity reports? Would this be okay for Mrs. Snowland to maybe put these up on the website?
Yeah, that's fine. We talked about that last month.
Okay, I don't remember if they did or not.
I believe that. I know I have a copy from.
I just sent
Sarah,
it.
but
I think,
don't
yeah, Rich's came first to everybody.
I don't think I got. No, I need them electronic.
Oh, okay.
I got the full paper one from Liberty, but I don't think I got the email.
Didn't you?
Yours, no.
Okay, could we make sure that Trustee Snowland gets
I've got
both of those?
reports, but not the Liberty.
Chief Pataska, is that okay? Did I get that right?
Acosta?
Acosta, is that what I said? I was close. Yeah.
So when Chief Carney sends it out, doesn't he send it out to all?
I thought he did.
I just don't. Yeah, I may have missed it, but I don't.
Okay, could you make sure that Trustee Snowman gets a copy of that? Okay. Chiefs, would you like to go over the letter you sent? We talked about fire inspections and your thoughts on how you think we should proceed with this.
Yeah, we had our fire prevention bureaus respectively get together with our fire marshals and our guys that are out there doing the inspections, and kind of said what do we think is the best way to attack this, and being, leery of, we don't want to just come out and change to a brand new fire code. So if you look at this proposal, option number one is strictly just to stick with what the county's using now. But we need to adopt some type of code under this new, when we're doing fire prevention inspections. So if you guys, will vote to adopt this in as your current code, we can go out and enforce it when we do inspections.
Okay.
So the thought was to starting out at that 2000 edition of the NFPA Life Safety 101 and NFPA 1. And then moving on in 2 years down the road there in 2021 to move to the 2010 version, and in NFPA 1 if the state doesn't adopt a more current, which they could, there's talk they might be going to the 2015 version. Currently, I believe Lake Forest, Libertyville, and Lake Bluff all have just went to the most recent version, but we just felt like it wouldn't be fair to just come in and drop down the most current version on everybody. And we're just, everything we're going to do is towards life safety. We're not going to just come out and start telling people you got to comply to this. There's going to be some give and take, and we're going to work with the business owners with the ultimate goal of just making things as safe as they can and making them comply to the current code.
Okay.
So we realize there's going to be a little work in there, but I think this is a fair plan that kind of gradually steps it up, and it allows for people, it's not going to like, hey, we're just not dumping it on you today that we're going to go to the 2023 code in 2023. We're going to be going to the 2021. So,
okay.
We have a roadmap of where we want to be. And
Trustee Snowman, thoughts?
Down the road.
No, I think that makes perfect sense.
Trustee Grum? Good with it?
Yes.
So next month on the agenda, we'll have the adoption of the 2000 edition of the NFPA 101 and NFPA 1.
Yes.
Is that what you'd like?
If we have any amendments, because you always make amendments, doing the ordinance to them is relatively easy. The problem is getting all the amendments that you got to make to them. And if I get those, I can slap them in there. That's not hard. It's an ordinance that you got to adopt.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's pretty much what they've been. So now as a county code, if the county was to come out,
So
that's
do you
what
need
they'd
the
be
chiefs?
enforcing.
Do you need the chiefs to send you something then?
Yes, because what happens is what the code says is, here's the code. This is the life safety code. This is the code of the blank state unit of government. Well, item number 1, unit of government should read Rockland Fire Protection District. So there's a bunch of little corrections or updates, changes that need to be made. not hard, usually the code enforcement officers have this laundry list of things that they do all the way across.
Okay, could we get the information to Mr. O'Connor that he needs so we can have a document ready to review and approve at next month's meeting?
I mean, it doesn't take long to do, because what it becomes is an exhibit to
You
the
fine with
ordinance,
that?
that's all.
Okay, so you have his contact info, correct?
Yeah, that's not hard.
Okay, that'll be for next month's agenda. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Peter?
And then as far as the, you know, the call sheets, I don't think we had anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Some ambulance calls, and everything seems to be working pretty good.
Mike, you as well?
Yeah, we're working on an annual report now for Libertyville, so not that it pertains to Norwood too much, but this is kind of, there's front and back. This is kind of like what we're gonna showcase on the annual report among other things. So once that's completed, we will share that annual report with you as well.
And when you have events, both of you, both departments, when you have events for the public, you'll let us know so we can post them on Norwood Neighbors, like if there's you know, a child safety seat
Definitely.
installation and stuff, so we can pass along to our residents. And I'm assuming, since we're the lucky ones that get both of you, if you're having an event, you don't mind if the folks on the other side show up and vice versa, right? You're
I
open to
think
everybody.
the way we did the Santa on a fire engine work was a perfect example. We both came together.
Great.
And did it, you know, let's announce it and make it work. I know there's some interest about a block party or picnic in the summer, so we're definitely open for all that stuff. And we'll
Excellent.
keep everybody in the mix.
Great, sounds like it's working just fine.
And we'll do the similar, we have an annual report that's more this Lake Forest specific, but we'll definitely put a chapter in there for Nolan and have it all part of the one big happy family there.
Okay.
Couple of small things, we are just about to put a new ambulance in service. It's gonna replace our Station 2 frontline ambulance. All three of our frontline ambulances will have that power load feature, which is tremendous help to the guys. So we're pretty excited about that. And then our ladder tower is gonna go in for a refurbish, probably in May. It's approaching end of life, about 20 years. Right now, we got it in 2001. So we decided to spend about $650,000 to rehab the entire unit, and that should give us another 15 to 20 years of service, which is almost, a new unit probably costs about $1.3 million. So it's gonna save us quite a bit of money. And we've seen some refurbished vehicles, and they come back nearly new. So we're looking forward to that. That takes about 6 months, and it'll go out in May. Hopefully come back in 6 months, and we'll have a pretty new ladder tower.
Okay. As we get through this, we'll work toward and let you know the 5 p.m. On the second Monday.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, anything else? Trustees, anything else for the chiefs?
Oh, I did find the email.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was so, it must have come around, from Chief Crime, must have come around the second or so I wasn't really in the right frame of mind yet.
Okay, trustee Grum, anything else for the chiefs?
No.
Thank you
Sounds
guys
good.
both for coming, we appreciate it, we'll see you next month, and hopefully, in between now and then, Mr. O'Connor will converse back and forth with you on the ordinance.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks. For those that are watching, Steve Loader from Lake Forest Bank and Trust, I asked him to stop by tonight and just talk to us in general about starting to consider if there's a spot we should put some of the money that we've gotten, or how he thinks we could or should proceed. So I'll let you kind of jump in here.
Well, I have given it some thought. Right now, the rate on the loan is down about $500,000 left on it, is 2.8% through 24. Right now, if you were to, with the goal of complete 100% principal preservation, if you were to invest your excess funds that you have, or your reserve funds, or the funds from asset sales, you're gonna be looking at something in the range of, depending upon liquidity and other factors, but just to give consideration, 2 to 2.4% at the bank, which would be, fully secure. In my view, it's depending upon what the use of the funds would be in the future, if any, it would make more sense to me to perhaps consider paying the loan down with some of those excess funds or reserve funds. You could do both, really. You could invest some, and you could pay the loan down. You're gonna save 2.8, but you're never gonna earn in the near term. Of course, who knows what interest rates will be going forward. You're not gonna earn enough to really offset the cost on the loan, in my view, and still have the preservation of the principal without being subject to any market fluctuations.
Okay.
Steve, what did you say the balance was due on the loan payments?
It's just under 500 right now.
Okay.
Balance is just under 500, 498, 765, 4. And it currently runs till January of 2024. It doesn't fully amortize the way it's currently set up, so that's something else to consider. There's an estimated balloon payment in 2024 of $100,000. And interest rates, if we were to make this loan today, the interest rate would be quite a bit higher, since I think rates have gone up quite a bit, so that's something else to consider. Depends on what your goals are and what you see for the use of the funds.
So if we were to pay off some of it, take some of the cash that we have now, pay off some of it, would that typically just shorten the term of the loan?
Yeah.
But the payments would stay
Right,
flat?
that's right.
But we would shorten the term, okay.
That's right.
We'd just be paying from the back forward, right?
Effectively,
Well, you're
that's
paying
right.
principal, right?
Yeah, if you prepaid X dollars in principal, yes, it would shorten the term by whatever that turned out to be. And you're saving 2.8 on annualized, of course, on whatever it is that you're paying now.
Okay. Good info to have. Any other questions?
No, that's, seems very logical.
Okay. Trustee Grum, any other questions?
No.
Mr. O'Connor, you have any thoughts, comments? Okay. All right.
I mean,
Sounds great.
he said the magic words. I mean, investment of district funds is governed by state law, but he used the magic words already. So, I mean, and I know Lake Forest Bank knows how to do that because they do that with a number of other people.
Yes,
right.
So, yeah, I mean, that you got to do it in accordance with the law. He'll do it in accordance with the law. But, what you want to do with the money, that's really up to the game. That's right.
Right. Okay.
Anything else?
That's it. Thank you very much for stopping by. And one or the other can always get in touch with you, and
Yeah, absolutely.
we can go from there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
Yeah, have a good evening.
Nice to
Bye-bye.
meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Okay, we'll jump on to number 4, consideration of the minutes of the regular Rockland Fire Protection District meeting with the Board of Trustees of December 10th.
I got one copy here. I brought one copy.
I got a copy as well. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented, or are there any changes?
So move.
Okay, motion by Snowblin, second by Grum, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Approval of annual financial report. Discussion and action.
Tammy gave you all copies.
Yep.
And we are definitely late this year. But I think you said the fine looked to be
I think $65.
$65. I think we can handle that. must have just printed this on. Because what I did, originally this was here.
Oh, when I,
Which
yes,
and I
that's
moved
the
it
page I
back.
got screwed up on, yeah.
Yeah, I moved it. It still was okay, it's just, it was in the wrong column, but it was negative, so it was still came out. But I just mentioned
That's
that
the
was
one where I had the
Yeah.
funky direction I
Yeah,
took literally.
so, yeah, I think it's, going to it seems like it was what it should be.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on it?
No, we just, the thing on this is that we have to formally approve it. If our revenue is over $800,000, we have to have an audit. If not, then we have to, the board has to formally approve it. And then, that's, I just took last year's that Brian wrote, updated the dates on it, and then you sign that, and then Tammy will take that, scan it, and then she can file it electronically. It won't let her file the report until we do that. So,
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the annual financial report as presented?
so moved. I'll second.
Motion by Grum, second by Snowden, roll call vote. Trustee Snowden.
Aye.
Trustee Grum.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers. Aye. Establish a 2019 board meeting schedule, discussion action. I'm proposing to keep it on the second Monday of the month, but to move it forward to 5 p.m. to allow Chief Karani to attend these meetings. He has a conflict with the Libertyville Fire Protection District meeting. Everybody okay with 5 p.m. for the second Monday?
I'm good. Yeah, I think that'll be fine.
Okay. So you want a motion on that, Brian, and then a roll call on that?
Yeah, do motion and roll call, because we'll have to follow up with them, you know, except for January, obviously. You know, all subsequent meetings in 2019 will meet at 5 p.m. rather than 6:30. And
Okay.
then we need to prepare the notice. Do you want to prepare the notice? Do you want me to prepare the notice and email to you?
Yeah, you can just send it out to me and then I.
Yeah, then
I'll
just
post
post it, right, that's all
Sure.
we do.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we accept the schedule for the remaining of the 2019 Board of Trustees meetings of the Rockland Fire Protection District for the second Monday of each month at 5 p.m. at the Rockland Fire Protection District Meeting Room at 14 Skokie Highway, Lake Bluff, Illinois. May I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Rogers, second by Grum. Roll call. Trustee Snowden.
Aye.
Trustee Grum.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers. Aye. Attorneys report an update on litigation naming the district as a respondent. And I'd like well, I think you've got it there, a total of how much money we've spent
Yeah.
playing in court.
This is the summary. I just keep, it's a rolling summary. It goes back to June and July. There was nothing in June and July because it all started in August. But you got a detail of, you know, the dates, the account it was to, and who the action was by, and what kind of a summary of what it was and the amount. Yeah, all in all, through December 13th, which was the last court hearing, the charges to the district have been totaled, what, $16,520.51. We expect that there will be more in January. The response to our motion to dismiss, the reply to the response to the motion to dismiss, and then we have a hearing on the motion to dismiss on January 31st. So more to follow, but I've got it on my list, and I'll keep updating you until.
So to date on litigation that is all tapped out to be nothing, we've spent $16,520 of taxpayer funds, along with about another $6,000 or $7,000 on FOIA requests.
There haven't really been any FOIA requests recently.
From way back when.
From way back in, I'd have to
Yeah.
look.
So we're north of 20,000 already on the whole works.
Sure.
Excellent.
But note too, that not all those FOIA requests necessarily related to this. I mean, it could have been, you know, all sorts, any generic FOIA request, because a
Right.
FOIA is a FOIA, doesn't care who it's from.
Wonderful. Good use of taxpayer money. Okay, treasurer's report and the review of invoices will be for discussion only, because we don't have them on the agenda, so we'll go over them, and then next month we will approve them. So Madam Treasurer,
Lake Forest Bank and Trust, capital of $36,434.19. Lake Forest Bank and Trust checking, $313,768.60. Lake Forest Bank and Trust Reserve, $274,259.30. Total assets, $624,462.09.
Okay.
Well, there's not much to the P and L.
Nope.
You can tell by the amount of checks, so we're still in line.
Okay.
Did not receive a second check from North Chicago. I was gonna send another notice.
That'd be great,
Second
thank you.
notice.
Yeah, that'd be great, thank you
Okay.
very much.
I'll do that. And then checks to approve, very minimal. The only odd ones, different ones that we have had, we had plowing, registration for Secretary of State, Millwood signage, payroll department, that was their W-2 cost for them mailing them. And that was about it. There wasn't $26,456.87.
Okay.
Again, you're just reviewing.
Just reviewing them, we'll look for them for approval next month. So we'll hold on to these and approve them at next month's meeting. Okay, building officers insurance, I've got copy, or I don't have copies, I've got a single copy here. I was gonna make some copies tonight. I don't know what we're currently paying, I should have gotten this to you ahead of time, Carl, so it's strictly for discussion at this point.
Yeah, I'm in the midst of working with our insurance company
Okay.
to bring everything up to where it should be.
Right.
To get all the vehicles off, and
Right.
so it is basically just for the building and
Officers insurance.
yeah, the liabilities, including for the trustees and the treasurer.
Right, and I want to give you this to compare to what you're going to come up with, and then if you wouldn't mind, since you're in the midst of it, would you mind kind of giving us an update on your recommendation next month?
If it's ready by then, yeah.
Okay, so here is, hold on 1 second. So here's a commercial policy on the building, and here's a rider for officers insurance, and that at least give you something to look at.
Okay. Officers insurance, a corporation versus insurance for trusts. See, one of the things is our insurer specializes in this.
Mhm.
I'm not so sure that commercial officers would be necessarily, we'd have to do a lot of looking to make sure that they
It's the right- it
really
covers
do
the same
right
stuff.
stuff, yeah, that
Okay.
would be my only concern.
And in fact,
And-
my guess would be a commercial corporation's insurance is gonna be more broadly written than districts, because commercial entities don't have the Tort Immunity Act, whereas you do,
Mhm.
and they know that, so,
Well,
yeah.
this was strictly an FYI for you to kind of give you something, a baseline to look at.
Mhm.
And that'll give you something, and then you can recommend what you think would be the best avenue forward.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing that I wanted to talk to about the two of you is an appraisal. I had spoken with the Shields Township assessor, and his suggestion was to look at getting an appraisal on the building that gave this board and future boards a written out appraisal of the value of this building. So we knew exactly what we had versus from just a real estate broker. So there's the one that the assessor thinks we should at least consider. I had showed it to Brian. It's a $2,000 expense, but he's going to give me a prelim, which I'll forward to you guys in an email, of a prelim with a range of value that he feels is between $1 and $4, just so we can look at that. And then when we have I'm gonna say a formal proposal, I wanted to get both of your feelings. How do you feel about getting an appraisal like that?
It's probably worth having. I'm just, how does it help us immediately? It still is probably worth having an appraisal.
Okay. Well, and again, I'd like to leave the future board with an appraisal so that whatever they choose to do, they have a baseline of having something there, and they know what the entity they have is worth, in a fairly recent dollar amount. Brian, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, the only thing, and Dan and I talked briefly about this, I think there's two aspects. I don't think an appraisal in itself is bad, but an appraisal of a piece of commercial property for sale is quantumly different than an appraisal of a piece of commercial property for lease. And I said, I think if the board is interested in pursuing it, I think that's something that needs to be clarified or made clear, because the answers are very different. And they could go out and look to see, what it might be worth, comparative property, comparable properties in the area and stuff like that. I don't know. The other thing I mentioned to Dan before the meeting tonight was we have that listing agreement with the exclusive agent, Bubba, for the lease thing.
Right.
And I'm not sure how that dovetails with what he may or may not do. Perhaps it gives you a cross-check to say, if he comes back and said we can lease it for $10 and your appraisal comes back and says it's only $1, you're getting a good deal, whereas the guy, he comes back and says it's $100, you're not getting a good deal. Maybe it's a cross-check, I don't know.
Okay.
But I mean, there's no requirement to have it, so it's really what you guys want. I mean,
Right.
you're gonna spend money, it's not a bad thing to do, but it's really what you guys want to do.
Okay, I just wanted to get your feelings on it and Bob's feelings on it, and just hash it out in a meeting. Again, not to move forward obviously tonight, but just to get your feeling on it. I'll get a more refined proposal and get it to both of you before the next meeting. I'll put it on the agenda, and then we can either decide to vote on it or table it. Is that adequate? Okay?
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile. I think at some point, if we're looking at leasing or selling, I think then we need to know what the value of the property is.
Okay. Okay, the next item, I'll let...
Yeah, I put this on there because of information that I received. Obviously, we're aware that at one of our meetings, there was damage done to President Rogers' vehicle, his truck. And that was submitted to the insurance company and thus denied. So my feelings are that since it was done at one of our meetings by one of the attendees at one of our meetings, I feel that the board should step up and cover the cost of the repairs for that damage. And my understanding is it's somewhere between $1,850 and $1,900. Yeah, I mean, obviously, having it damage done is unacceptable, and no trustee or anything should have to bear that burden. But I guess I have one concern, it's a legal concern, I want to run this by Brian. So the insurance, the district's insured denied the claim on the basis that the district had no liability for that action. So I guess, it just occurs to me in this day and age, things being what they are, if the trustees were to vote to reimburse Dan for an expense that is not according to the insurance company, a liability, it's not the responsibility of the district. Is there anything crooked about that, or
It's hard to say. There is no black and white answer to that question. I think the factors that you mentioned distinguish this from a normal. If Trustee Rogers had been driving his car and was reporting when he got in an accident, just driving around. That's very different than damage occurring to his vehicle while on district property sometime in the course of a district meeting by person or persons unknown. We don't know. But he was here on business, and for whatever reasons, the insurance company denied it. But that's the insurance company enacting their policy. It just seems to me, as Trustee Grum said, it doesn't feel right that a trustee should be out to damage to his vehicle which occurred in the furtherance of him performing his duties. There is no hard and fast answer, right? So you say, is it illegal or not? I mean, it would not seem improper.
Okay, I just really need your advice on that.
Yeah.
If you say it doesn't seem, that you don't think it would seem improper, then.
Yeah, I can't say it's proper, but I can't say it seems improper, because there's no answer to that question. No court has ruled on it yet.
But it's just that everybody's so hypersensitive these days about, misusing the funds of the district in any way, shape, or form. I just wanted to be sure that we're not, going in a bad direction.
Right, and I think in my mind, the key elements are, it occurred on district property during the conduct of the district meeting at which Dan was attending in his official capacity, by person or persons unknown. Well, I can understand the district isn't responsible for security of its property, so I can understand the insurance companies, but on the other hand, if it happened to your vehicle, I think you're in the same position.
Oh, sure.
Now, the question becomes, okay, so what happens if a member of the public happened to their vehicle? Are you on the hook for that? I don't know. They're not here in official capacity. There's nothing that requires them to be here. You have an ethical obligation at the very minimal to be here. You probably have a legal obligation to be here for a duly constituted meeting. But, so I think you're in a different position than a member of the John Q. public. So, I can't say it's improper, but I can't say it's proper either.
I guess the way, my question was, do you see it as being improper?
No, I don't think so. Because of the facts and circumstances which got us here. It's a very fact-specific answer in this case.
Almost. And I'm not,
Go ahead, Trustee Grum.
go ahead, Bob.
Would like to make a motion then to, for the.
Did you pay a deductible, Dan? You got your truck fixed, did you pay a deductible?
No, I did not get my truck fixed.
Okay, would you have a deductible?
I don't think we need to answer questions at this point, do we?
You don't.
No, you don't have to.
I was gonna say,
These are moral questions,
What you gotta do is
yeah.
you're gonna have to bring in an invoice
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can't just pay an amount.
Right.
When you have a consensus of the board to reimburse you the cost upon presentation of suitable documentation.
Okay. Right. I thought I was gonna have it tonight. I know the number, it's between $1,850 and $1,900, but I will email out the actual estimate.
So you, in other words, obviously it hasn't been done, and you've not run it through your insurance. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're clear on that.
Yeah, no, there's no double dipping, no.
Then I will make a motion to that effect, that the board reimburse Trustee Rogers for the repairs upon presenting us with a reasonable receipt.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call vote. Trustee Grum.
Aye.
Trustee Snowden.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers abstains. Okay, I think that's all we've got. I will take a motion to adjourn at 7:04.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.